one of two people is going to be president in the next 3 weeks. Let me give you a hint. The name starts with R. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is your Monday 707. Thank you for tuning in. And we are doing the governance series. We got like 2 weeks or so to the elections in Kenya. And I know there are elections happening all over the world at varied stages. And so we just want to do this small series and use Kenya as an example. So today I'm talking to parents, and specifically parents of teenagers. Okay? If you have a teenager in your house, 13 years old, 14 years old, 15, 16, 17, 18, I want you to understand something. Your teenagers are going to decide the next election. Not this one. In 2027, somewhere between 7 and 10 million Kenyans are going to come into the voting platform. These are teenagers who will now be above 18 and eligible to vote. Did you get that? 10 million new votes are going to come into the election cycle by the time we get to 2027. And you, as a parent of a teenager, have the ability to influence the 2027 elections. This is what you do. First of all, you need to make sure that you're watching news with your teenage son or daughter. Okay? The same way you drag them to eat food when they were children, and you force them to eat because eating is important for them. You force them to bathe because bathing is important for them. Now they are teenagers. Drag them to sit in front of that TV and watch the 7 o'clock news. Watch the 9 o'clock news. Because guess what? Whether or not you teach them how to vote, in the next couple of years, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, they will vote in a way that you probably have no control over. So pull them there and watch the news with them. Because guess what? One of two people is going to be president in the next 3 weeks. Let me give you a hint. The name starts with R. So obviously in Kenya, our next president is going to be one of either Ruto or Raila. Forget all this other stuff. That is the fact of the matter. Now, as a parent, are you teaching your child to vote for Ruto? Or are you teaching your child to vote for Raila? Are you teaching them to vote for an individual? Because let me tell you, parents, that is flawed thinking. First of all, 99% of us do not know either Ruto or Raila personally. You have no clue who they are. You do not know them from Adam. You probably have never met them. All you see is all that is shown to you on TV. So you do not know the kind of person that you're vouching for. You are only making inferences based on what you've seen and heard. So do not teach your child to vote for an individual. Secondly, people change. Even if you are fortunate enough to know them, people actually change. Forget money. When people come into power, there's a difference between being rich and being president, being rich and being a governor, being famous and being an MP. There is a stark difference. So do not teach your children to vote for an individual. Teach your children to vote for values. Teach your children, your teenagers, how to pick good character. Teach them how to pick good morals. Teach them how to pick someone who has got a dependable history, someone who has got a reputation that can be trusted. Teach them how to look for values, people that are ethical in their leadership skills. Teach your teenage children about values, because values are true. If your children are going to vote for someone because that person is honest, their conscience will be clear. And 2 years later, if that person changes and stops being honest, your child will not feel like they made a mistake. They will know that, you know what, I voted for honesty. Once upon a time you were honest. Now you have changed. My values have not changed. When we teach people to vote for personalities, that's when as a nation we get into a crisis. Because you vote for someone you believe you know, only for 2 years later that person goofs and you're wondering what you are doing and you are embarrassed to say that you made a mistake. Guys, forget about personalities. Let us teach our generation to vote for values. Okay? So parents, Sit down. Do not teach your children what to think. Sit with them and let them understand your frame of reference as you're making your decisions. Don't give them the leakage to the exam. Teach them how to think, not what to think. All right? Now, parents, move aside. I want to talk to your teenagers. Teenagers, you're there 13, 14, starting with my son who's 13 years old. 14, 15, 16, 17, I want you to know this. The nation is in your hands in the next 5 years. Whatever your parents decide, you're going to have to pay that bill for the next 5 years at least. But by 2027, you need to be ready to make the decision as to where this country is going to go. So watch your parents closely. Watch your neighbors closely. Don't miss out on the news. Listen to all the aspirants for all positions, governor, president, all these positions, deputy. Listen to these people as they're speaking. You have the benefit of being unbiased. Us guys in the older generation are probably thinking tribal, we're probably thinking money, we're probably thinking historical issues, but you guys as teenagers do not know anything about these people. So sit and think. Listen to them. Try and understand how they're speaking. Look at the image that they portray. And as we vote for them, watch how they behave after 1 year, after 2 years, 3 years, so that by the time you get into 2027, you as a teenager now, at that time as an adult, you'll be ready to decide who you want to lead your generation. Okay? Guys, this is civic education. It's very important for our country. I wish you guys the best as you watch the news and educate your children, and children as you watch your parents. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is your 707. My name is Victor Machoka. See you next week. Cheers.